Hello, everybody. Welcome to your Topic 9 Ticket to Retake. Use this video to help however you need it. Check your answers, go to specific problems, hear a reteach of the idea, and I hope that you have a successful test retake. All right, so first section here, we have to write the equation of the parabola given the following information. So we are provided with this information right here about parabolas. Couple things to note. If the parabola has the equation y equals 1 over 4c x squared, it's going to open up or down. So any y equals parabola will open, will open up, or it could open down. Now, if this 1 over 4c, if this is positive, it's going to open up. If this is negative, it's going to open down. Over here, we have x equals 1 over 4c times y squared. So you got a y equals parabola and an x equals parabola. If it's x equals, these parabolas will open to the right, or they could open to the left. If your if your 1 over 4c value is positive, it's going to be opening to the right. If this is a negative number, it's going to open to the left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 equations, two of them that are your y equals opening up or down. So the difference between this parabola and this parabola, this one has x minus h and then plus k. Those are your shifting numbers. So that's going to shift the vertex away from the origin. If all you have is the x squared, no adding or subtracting in a number with the x or a number on the end, this vertex is at the origin. Over here, same idea. If all you have is the y squared, not y minus k and plus an h, so adding or subtracting from the y or on the end, this vertex is at the origin. This vertex has been shifted away from the origin. So we'll just keep that in mind. While I'm looking at the formulas, we also have formulas for circles. X squared plus y squared equals your radius squared. If all you have is x squared plus y squared, the center of this circle is at the origin. As soon as we put in some shifting numbers, x minus h, x minus k, that's going to move the center of the circle away from the origin. So just keep that in mind. All right, number 1. We are given that the vertex is at 0, 0. So if the vertex is at the origin, I know it's going to be this equation or this equation. And then the directrix is x equals 3. So I am always drawing these problems out. When I draw it out, I can see if it's opening up, down, left, or right. You can kind of visually fill in the information they didn't provide you. So we've got a vertex at 0, 0. Here's our vertex. I'm going to label it with a V because I don't want to confuse it with the focus. The directrix is at x equals 3. So x equals 3 is going to be a vertical line. I'm going to come over here, 1, 2, 3. That's the directrix. So I'm going to draw a vertical line, x equals 3. All right, so the piece of information we can fill in is the focus. Now the directrix and the focus are the same distance away from the vertex, with the vertex in between those. The vertex is always in the middle. So if the directrix is 3 units away from the vertex, I'm going to go 3 units, 1, 2, 3, in the other direction, and that is where the focus will be. All right, this parabola is going to open toward the focus. The focus is always on the inside of the parabola, and it opens away from the directrix. So right now I can see that this is a parabola that's opening to the left with the vertex at the origin. So I know that the equation is going to be an x equals 1 over 4c times y squared. All we need now is that c value to write the equation here. So the c value can be positive or negative, and it's how far away the focus is from the vertex. So if I'm at the vertex, 1, 2, 3, so our c value is 3, and because we are counting to the left, that'll be a negative 3. If we're counting from the vertex down to get to the focus, that's a -3. Anytime a parabola opens to the left or opens down, your C value will be negative. So our C is a -3. Then all we do is we just plug that in. X equals 1 over 4 times -3, y squared. And then our final answer, x equals, that's a -112 y squared. All right. So number 2, the focus is at 0, 4, and the directrix is y equals -2. So again, I'm going to draw this out. Notice they're just giving us 2 pieces of information, and when we draw it out, we can fill in the missing information. All right, so the focus is at 0, 4, so that's 0 for the x, 4 for the y. There's our focus. The directrix, y equals -2, is going to be a horizontal line crossing through the y-axis at -2. Okay, now we're going to fill in the vertex. The vertex is halfway between the focus and the directrix, right in the middle. So I just want to count and see, well, how far away is the focus from the directrix? So I can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units away. If we cut that in half, 3 units, the vertex will be 1, 2, 3 units from either one. So that's going to put the vertex right there. Okay, this parabola is going to open toward the focus. The focus is always on the inside, so it's going to open up. So when it opens up, I know that it's a y equals equation, 1 over 4c, and then because the vertex is not at the origin, this is going to be an x minus h squared plus k. Now, the h and the k, those are your shifting numbers. So we did not go left or right at all. So that means that we shifted 0 units from the x, but we did go up 1 unit. So we shifted up 1 unit for that k. So I'm going to put a 0 and a 1 in for the k. The other thing we need is the c value. Now remember, our c value is, we count from the vertex to the focus, 1, 2, 3, oh, it's a 3 again. But because this parabola is opening up, that c value will be a positive 3. So our equation is going to be y equals 1 over, I'm going to plug in a 3 for this c. 4 times 3 is 12, so 1 over 12. Now I'm going to plug in a 0 here, or just think about if we're not shifting the x's at all, it's just going to stay as an x squared. But to shift that vertex up 1 unit, we're going to add 1 to the end. All right, rolling along. Number 3. Again, they will give us some information. We will sketch it and then fill in the missing information they did not give us. So the focus is 3, 0. So that's to the right 3 units, up 0. Plot that point, label it, focus. And the directrix is x equals -3. So I'm going to go to -3 on the x-axis. And then the directrix is a line. X equals -3 is going to be a vertical line that goes through the x-axis at -3. So what we're missing here is the vertex. Vertex is halfway between the focus and the directrix, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units apart. Cut that in half and go in 1, 2, 3. So we are looking at a vertex being right at the origin. All right, so this parabola, to get that focus on the inside, is going to open to the right. So when our parabola is open left or right, it's going to be an x equals parabola. And then because the vertex is at the origin, it's just going to be 1 over 4c y squared, no shifting numbers on this one. So we're going to figure out what that c value is. we can go from our vertex and just count to the focus. 1, 2, 3. Why are these 3 every single time? Hope I'm not doing them wrong, but I don't think I am. All right, so our C value is 3. And because this parabola is opening to the right, that will be a positive 3. So your C value is negative if the parabola opens to the left or if the parabola opens down. All right, so let's plug that in. We're going to have x equals 1 over, we're going to plug in a 3 for the C, so 4 times 3 is 12, and then y squared. All right, we got another one. Again, start by drawing it out. I can already see that the vertex is not going to be at the origin. So this one will have some shifting numbers in it, but let's see what we're looking at. Vertex is negative 3, 2. So that means we're going to go to the left 3 units and up 2 units. Label your vertex. And then the focus is at 1, 2. So to the right 1, up 2 is the focus. Okay, so right now I can tell that this parabola, here's our vertex, the focus is to the right, so it's going to open to the right, just like that last one we did. What we're missing is the directrix. Directrix will be on the other side, and it's going to be the same number of units away from the vertex as the focus. So to get from the vertex to the focus, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So I'm going to go to the left of the vertex, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this will have a vertical directrix. So that's the directrix. It's crossing through the x-axis, so x equals, and it's crossing through the x-axis at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 7. All right, so we said this parabola is opening to the right so that that focus is on the inside. Okay, so parabola opening to the right is going to be an x equals parabola. We got 1 over 4c, and then because our vertex shifted, we're going to have y minus h squared plus k. Okay, thought I missed a squared on one of those, but nope, we're good. Okay, so when your vertex shifts away from the origin and is opening left or right, notice how your x and your y's are switched. That means that these numbers are switched. I actually think it's the k first. Oops. Yeah, so right here, see how it's y minus k and then h. So sorry, I'm going to erase it and fix that. So I'm just going to, oh, it's a big eraser. All right, so y minus k squared plus h. Okay, so let's take a look at our parabola. So we have x equals 1 over 4c. C is the distance from the vertex to the focus. So we already said that was 1, 2, 3, 4 because it's opening to the right. That's going to be a positive 4. So that number is going to go in there. Now the y minus k. This is the y coordinate, which is, we got to think about our vertical shifting. So we went up 2 units. This is when your y gets to be tricky. If you went up 2 units, this is going to be a y minus 2. And then the h now, because this was in here with the y, this h will be our horizontal shifting. And we went to the left, 1, 2, 3. This one's going to be very straightforward. It's just going to have a minus 3 on there. So we're used to x being tricky. Here's where the y gets to shine and have its moment. The y gets to be tricky and the x is not. And we can see that the x and the y are switched in the equation. So the trickiness will switch on this one. All right, so our final equation, we're going to have x equals 1 over 4 times, we're going to plug in our c value of 4. 4 times 4 is 16. And then we've got y minus 2, tricky y, and then minus 3. That's the one to look out for, you guys. That's, I think, a harder problem where your vertex is not at the origin and your parabola opens left or right. You have to put a little bit more thought into a problem like that one. All right. Oh, there we go. I just saw the equation and didn't know what I was talking about. So what is the equation of this parabola? So let's take a look at the parabola and see what we notice. First of all, it's opening left. Parabolas that open left are x equals parabolas. This would be 1 over 4c. They all start out that way. And then the vertex is at the origin. So that means we didn't shift at all. So it's just going to be a y squared. So all we have to figure out to write the equation is what our c value is. C value, if we count from the vertex to the focus, that's 1, 2 units. But because we went to the left, and this parabola is opening to the left, our c value is a negative 2. So our equation is going to be x equals, we're going to plug in a negative 2. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So I'm just going to put the negative out front, negative 1 over 8 y squared.